Okay, let's take a look and see now how we might make our drainage drawing or our topo drainage drawing. First thing we're going to do is here I'm in my civil drawing. I've got my site plan done. I'm in my model and I'm just going to copy that stuff. So I just did the typing version of that. And I want something over here that I can work with, and then I'll get rid of the stuff that I don't want. Very typical of what we do in CAD. So there we go, that starts. Now, let's take a look and see what this is going to look like. This top line is cut into 6 segments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. So then if I could find out where those are, and they're equally spaced, if I could find those out, I could draw these. And if this is 120, that's 121. That's a topo line. Everywhere along that line is the same elevation, 122, 123. And these spots here, I'm just going to estimate. I just don't really know exactly where those are. Okay, and then I'll draw these. Okay, the rest of it, the outline and all of the annotations, I've just copied, and so I'm going to do another copy again. So let's see if I can do that. First thing to do, of course, is to get onto the thin layer for my topo lines. Those are lines where everything as you walk along it are at the same elevation. And I want to divide this top line into 6 pieces. There's a cool command called divide. There it is. Click, and it says down here, select the object to divide. I want to divide that top line. And how many segments? 6. That's cool, and it doesn't look like it did anything. There's something over here in OSNAPS. It put something called a node on each of those places. Let me show you what it looks like. If I were to try to draw a line, as I move along that line, it pops into something that looks like a circle with an X through it. That's a node, and it put one of those in each of those places. So let me divide again. I just happened to type it that time, this right hand one, and that'll be 4. So now I can draw. There's my 25-foot line. Enter, enter, lets me go again. And I think it's going to be somewhere like that. I'm not too concerned. When you do it in Revit, it's going to be right on. But this is just to give sort of an idea of where the water would go. It would go from the high elevation down to the low elevation. So there's my model. So if I come to the drainage plan, I want to see that here. Now I'm going to show you just a little trick. I'm going to copy the stuff that I'm interested in. So there's my viewport and a bunch of the data. I can do a Control-C or right-click, clipboard, copy, and then I can do a Control-V or something like that over here, and voila! Look how cool that is. Now, the only thing is, I'm looking at my site plan. So now I want to come back to my model, unlock, and I'm holding my scroll down to pan till I get this right in place. And relock it. Now I've got a little bit too much information in here. Go back to my paper. Let me get rid of what I don't need. So pretty quickly, I've got that whole thing redone. Okay, now I want to put in those little labels that you saw, the elevation labels. That's at 120, 121, 122, 23, 24, 25. I'm going to use a tool called Wipeout to do that. And I can type it in, or I can go find it on the annotate bar. I can make something called a wipeout. Okay, so let me just find it since I'm right there. And I'm just going to wipe out an area. 1, 2. Hit my 4 spots and hit enter. And see how it puts something over the top. It wipes it out. So now if I go back to my dim text, DT, middle center, and it's probably going to be about that tall. My direction will be east. I can type capitals EL 121. And I can put the foot symbol on it. And that all looks great, except this is a little ugly. I'll show you how to take care of that in a minute. But for right now, I can go ahead and just copy those. And I can change each of these. 122, 123, 124, and 125. Now, these are really ugly frames, so I want to be able to turn them off. If I type wipe out, I can wipe out frame control, and it says the current value is 1, so I want to turn it off. 0. I just typed 0 in that box. How cool is that looking? So that's looking really, really nice. So my last thing is to draw my polylines. So I'm going to draw a line. And then I'm going to draw a polyline, and I'm going to type W for width. And this is how you can draw an arrow. Oh, start point is, let's try that again. Polyline, start point, and W. What's the starting width? It's going to be 0. And then maybe 0.18 or 0.25, something like that. And now I've got an arrow. So I give it a start point, a start width of 0, an ending width, and then I just click where I want it to be. So now I've got an arrow, and I can copy that. And probably, oops, I didn't do a very good job there. My oh snap went to the wrong place. I'm sure that's happened to you before. There we go. And then I think I want to rotate that. So I just typed it. Select the objects, find the endpoint, and make it kind of go like that. There we go. And look, this came across. All of this came across in a copy. So now I have very quickly my drainage plan. Remember, ATT, edit, enter. Pick your title block. DESGN 301. Whatever the date is, 6/09/24. Put your initials in there. Drawing title. Drainage plan. Scale. Same scale we used before because we just copied. There we go. And you know, in Design 302, you're going to learn a lot more about how to take care of all this and really make it look good and fit and all that kind of stuff. I think it's cool that you've just learned that there's things called an attributed block, a title block, that you can just like very quickly type in the data. That's just a cool thing to know about. Okay, so there we go. That is your drainage plan. And I just did a save.